Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope we're all doing well. So I thought I'm gonna have to pull the trigger on this one because I remember getting my nose on the original and enjoying it very much, and it'd been some time. And when I heard that French Avenue were releasing a clone from the same line as the Azure Oud and the Liquid Brun, which were both very close to the original scent profiles, I thought, yeah, why not? Couldn't justify at the time spending the money for the Crivelli because it is big money. So I thought, why not? And then when it was on its way, I thought I'll do a side-by-side comparison. So I got a decant of the original. So if you're interested in how Cocoa Morado stacks up against Oud Cadenza, then stick around. So here we have it. This is the bottle, just like the Liquid Brun and the Azure Oud. I actually like these bottles, you know. I think they're quite smart. Some say they're a little bit tacky, but you know, they feel all right in the hand. Cap's light, it's plastic, cheap little fake gem on there and on the top, but I think they look okay, you know. There's much worse out there. And it smells fantastic. So this is the box. It opens like that. Okay. Don't do what I did and grab at this thinking, or like from the top. It opens the opposite way than you would think. And away from that little hinge thing there. Gold and purple presentation, just like the bottle. Harking to what it's inspired by, and then you've got the foam insert there with the bottle nestles inside. Now, if you're not at all familiar with this particular scent profile, this particular DNA, I've got the listing notes here, so I'll just go over them. In the top, you've got cinnamon, saffron, cardamom, ginger, nutmeg, and pink pepper. And then in the mid, you've got dates, oud, incense, myrrh, and davana. And then in the base, you've got vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin, labdanum, leather, patchouli, and mate. Without looking up the notes of Oud Cadenza, I think, in fact, I'm 90% sure that they're almost identical. In fact, they might be identical, but just in a different order. Now, I've already done a side-by-side. I'm going to do them now, just to experience the opening again, but I've experienced them both from beginning to end, all the way through the life of the wear. Now, I'll do Cocoa Morado on the left. You do not need much of this. And then the Crivelli on the right, which you also don't need much of. Now then, there are differences, but let me tell you, those differences are so negligible, they almost don't matter. I'm not the type of guy who's going to tell you, oh, it's identical to the original, there's no point in ever buying the original, this makes it redundant. The way in which this would make the Crivelli redundant is only dependent on your individual financial circumstances and your financial priorities, and also your fragrance collecting priorities. I had a bit of a verbal exchange with somebody in the comments over my Alexandria Black Panther review, who was befuddled at the price of a dupe. But when it came down to it, it was because he didn't want to spend £100 on a dupe presentation, even though, just like I said, and others got in the comment section to verify, the Black Panther actually outperforms and outclasses the Bulgari. it was more down to he would rather have the original presentation, which is fine. You know what I mean? I understand that in some respect. But when you're wearing the fragrance, you're not stood by your collection, are you? So if having the bottle is more important to you than having a better experience, then that's up to you. I'm not saying that that's true here. The French Avenue isn't better than the Crivelli. It's almost the same. They're not different enough. They're not different enough to explain the chasm in price difference, because there is a chasm of like 250 quid or something like that. You know what I mean? Because the 100ml bottle of this is like between 40 and 50 quid. And off the top of my head, like, what's the Crivelli? Is it like 200 and something pound for just 50ml? I think. You know what I mean? Like, it's a sizable difference. You can tell which is better in terms of quality. I think that the way that the spices, along with the leathery oud are blended, makes the delivery of this, I think, spicier and slightly more masculine. Yeah. And funkier too. Deeper.
Oh yeah!
The French Avenue is slightly fresher. Now, I don't mean it's fresh, because it's not at all. And I think it probably only comes across as fresher because rather than having amped up freshness, it's got a slight lacking of depth, which, you know, like depth and bright, like if you take away from one, it's almost like you're enhancing the other. But this is one of those occasions where, unless you're a collector and you have a Crivelli collection, you're probably going to want to have the original, and I would say go for it because it's a fantastic scent. It smells really, really good. I enjoy it a lot, just like I remember enjoying it when I first smelled it, like quite a while ago. I don't have a Crivelli collection, so this will do for me. This will do. This will do just fine. I enjoy it a lot. Now, it doesn't have the strength, and yesterday when I sprayed them on, after I took a shower, I couldn't smell it anymore. Which, you know, you had a shower, it's not a problem, is it? You know, you're not expecting to, but the Crivelli was still like very much detectable, not out in the air, but I could smell it off my skin if I went like that. So, you know, there's an obvious difference in the quality of the oil, of the strength of the oil, but this is not a weak fragrance by any stretch. You don't need a lot of it. It's detectable easily out in the air, quite far away from your body for a very long time. So performance is not an issue. In terms of how close it is to the original scent profile, it's almost bang on. It is almost bang on. It's just lacking a little bit of that depth. And you know, if you're not aware, I mean, I listed the notes off, but if you're not aware, if you've never experienced this before at all, what I get from it most is saffron, spices, mostly the nutmeg, I think, and the cinnamon. It is nutmeg, isn't it? Hang on. Yeah. A little bit of that pink pepper and leather, which is also ladinum leather, same bloody thing to me. And the saffron enhances the leatheriness as well, because saffron can come across a little bit rubbery / leathery. And the incense it's definitely smoky, makes the oud a bit more smoky. And the cocoa, I see cocoa and tonka bean and all that, like the sweetness, like when you see these notes you think, oh, this is going to be a gourmand oud fragrance. It's not really. It isn't until you, like in both fragrances, it isn't until you get into the deep dry down, you get a little bit of that cocoa. That's about it. That's about it for me, really. In terms of gourmand facets, some people might experience the tonka. I don't really. This is just spicy oud fragrance. That's very well done. Very well done. Very close. So there you go, guys. That's my opinion. That's how I've interpreted them, doing side by side, and my stance on which I think is the smart choice. But for me, which is the smart choice for me, I don't need to spend all that money on the Crivelli. Not while this is kicking around. So impressed with this. And for the price, you can't go wrong. So that'll do for today, guys. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. I really appreciate the support. The channel growth has been fantastic. Your interactions in the comments are welcomed, and the feedback I've been getting has been brilliant. I'm really enjoying this. So thanks for all your support. And as I say every time, if you're enjoying the content, particularly this video, make sure you smash the like button down below. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you don't want to miss any future uploads, make sure you hit that bell notification icon so that you can be notified next time I upload some scented nonsense. So until next time, guys, take care, keep smelling good, stay fresh, and I'll see you again.